As the man was being executed, a lightning bolt struck the prison spotlight, instantly intensifying the electric chair's power. The electrical equipment sparked and sputtered violently. Writhing in agony, the man caught a glimpse of his scarred arm. He's the real killer. The man was framed for his girlfriend's murder, tragically leading to his current fate. Recognizing the killer, he struggled furiously in the electric chair, completely consumed by rage, and quickly died there. The guards shoved his body into the morgue. But unbelievably, the man was still alive. He kicked open the freezer door, but the electric chair had disfigured him beyond recognition, and even the crows outside couldn't bear to look. Slowly, he peeled off the burned skin, revealing a face like a clown's mask. Staring intently at his reflection, he vowed revenge for his girlfriend's death, hunting down the true killer. Raven urged him to flee the prison quickly, but the alarm blared. Upon discovering the escape, the guards quickly mobilized. However, the man was already scaling the fence, effortlessly vaulting over the iron bars. Surprisingly, he displayed a new ability. His wounds began to heal themselves. He had somehow gained immortality. The crow led the man to the police station's administrative office. The man slammed his hand down on the nails on the desk, then slowly raised his palm. Sure enough, there wasn't a scratch. The crow led him further. Understanding immediately, the man opened the file cabinet and quickly found his own case file. He yanked the cabinet open with force, knelt down, and desperately searched for clues, finally finding the murder weapon used on his girlfriend. He retrieved the dagger from his bag, unexpectedly activating another ability. Touching an object vividly revealed its past details and secrets. He saw the argument with his girlfriend on the day of the crime, the scarred arm that framed him so cruelly, and also his entire period of unconsciousness. It turns out my friend David witnessed absolutely everything, and yet he lied under oath in court. Could David possibly be the killer? He confronted David for giving false testimony against him, slammed him against the wall, ripped open his sleeve, but found no scar. Jem pressed him, demanding to know the real killer's identity. The soldier confessed he'd taken a bribe to give false testimony, revealing the murderer was on the city's police roster. Meanwhile, one officer on that list was abusing his power, attempting to assault a girl. Unsuspecting, he didn't anticipate Jem suddenly appearing in the car. Jem calmly crossed his name off the list. After exiting the vehicle, the police immediately shot Jem down, the gunfire startling the girl in the passenger seat. Kagan was just playing along with the corrupt cops. He quickly overpowered the officer and told the two girls to leave very quickly. Jem took out the knife used to kill his girlfriend and cut open her sleeve, only to find that she didn't have a scarred arm. He tossed the corrupt cop aside, grabbed his head firmly, and gouged at his eyes. In death, the cop's eyes clearly showed him the scene of that night. He saw four men viciously attacking his girlfriend, who, in resisting, grabbed one of their guns. They then stabbed and killed her, including this very corrupt cop. The dumb cop was still pointing his gun at Jem, realizing only after several shots that Jem was immortal. Jem rushed forward, shoved the gun into his mouth, and angrily sent him to apologize to his girlfriend. Soon after, he quickly found the second corrupt cop on the list. While the man was waiting at a red light, Yam suddenly punched him hard and forced his way into the car. The cop thought his gun would scare Yami, but Yami quickly snatched it right away and tossed it out the car window. He then sped through the streets with the corrupt cop, stabbing him in the hand and thigh with a knife, but realized this still wasn't the scarred arm man. The patrolling officer spotted them quickly, chasing Jem's car closely. Jem calmly pressed the cigarette lighter, then drove, taking the corrupt cops with him, and crashed into the vehicles ahead. After jumping out of the car, he was immediately surrounded by police, who promptly pulled out his lighter and swiftly tossed it into the leaking gasoline, causing the car to explode very quickly almost instantly. The force of the explosion even reached the plane in the sky. After it ended, the two officers quickly rushed to the scene, only to find Jem completely gone. By then, Jem had already arrived at their hideout, unaware that the last two corrupt cops on the list were already lying in wait, ordering their men to open fire indiscriminately. As the smoke cleared, Jem was nowhere to be seen. He had quickly jumped to the rafters and then plunged a wooden stick deeply into a man. The police fired at him repeatedly, but Jem remained completely unharmed and agile. After the feint, Jem leapt down to check the man's arm for a scar. Unexpectedly, a group of officers emerged from the shadows. Jem quickly subdued two of them and seized their weapons. He wasn't scared at all facing so many opponents. The police quickly fired at him, instantly immobilizing Jem almost completely. But once they stopped shooting, Jem then opened his eyes again and quickly began firing back at them. One by one, the officers fell to the ground. With every ounce of strength, Jem slammed the last one down, barely containing his rage. The last corrupt cop fled into the bathroom. When Jem came for him, he ambushed Jem, accidentally severing the gas line. Even with a gun to Jem's head, he didn't dare fire. Jem subdued him quickly, but tearing off his sleeve revealed absolutely no scarred arm at all. Just then, the commissioner's men arrived and fired a shot from afar. The gunpowder ignited a gas explosion, instantly reducing the entire building to rubble. Jem found scarred arm in the ruins, truly believing he'd finally avenged his lover. His obsession vanished completely, along with his immortality. He limped warily to his detective friend's home, only to discover the shocking and awful truth. The police chief was, in fact, the real culprit. Enraged, he stormed right into the director's office. Stripped of his powers, even armed, he was easily subdued. The director grabbed his throat, repeatedly stabbing him. After eliminating Jem, he presented Jem's girlfriend's sister with the body. Just then, a raven very quickly flew in. The sister held out her sister's necklace, and the raven snatched it, dropping it before Jem. The promise to protect his sister vividly surged back into Jem's mind. He tackled the chief's man, quickly and decisively sending him to his maker. The chief fled the office with his sister, but Jem leaped from the building, dramatically crashing through the car's sunroof, forcefully seizing the chief's arm tightly and holding on. The killer was indeed him, using the victim's own methods. He brought the police chief to the execution chair where he was nearly killed. His sister pulled a switch, electrocuting the chief and killing him instantly. Justice was finally served.